Hello. The weather here has been scorcher for the last day or two, but it's not so bad now. So I'm taking Adrian out for a stroll, and here he is, little fella. Um, yeah, thought I'd talk to you about some of the legal issues straight after the birth. When Adrian was born, I presented the surrogate with this passport officer's consent form. She refused to sign it, which wasn't totally unreasonable because she hadn't been paid a fee yet by then. But then I also went round with this referee form for Adrian's British citizenship, but I couldn't find anybody in the hospital who would sign it. And that was a bit of a blow. So I needed two referees. One would be somebody who knew me. That person had to be British, and had to be. There are all sorts of different credentials you could have, but basically it had to be somebody professional standing who knew me personally, who wasn't a relative. So that was one, and the other person had to be somebody who was professionally concerned with Adrian's welfare, and that could be a local. That person didn't have to be British. So, in effect, that would be somebody from a hospital, maternity hospital, or clinic, who sort of provided care for Adrian. But I couldn't find anybody at the maternity hospital prepared to sign that form. So after about a week, I got a call from somebody from the agency's legal team, all their partners, and it was an invitation to go to this big town hall, like this massive town hall in the city, to register Adrian's birth and collect a birth certificate. So I went there with this legal representative, and I got to Adrian's birth certificate, and I was registered as a father, surrogate as a mother, but he didn't have any nationality, so at present Adrian was stateless. And then 2-3 days after that, I got another call, got another invitation to go to the office, and I went there, and I was presented with a whole stack of documents. These were permission for Adrian to take British nationality, permission to take Adrian out of the country, certificate that the surrogate gave birth to Adrian, surrogate's birth certificate, surrogate's marriage certificate, surrogate's capacity for marriage certificate, surrogate's declaration that she is divorced, medical birth certificate, Adrian's state of health at birth, and my passport. Most of these documents were translated into local language, Kazakh and English, notarized and apostilled and tied up in little ribbons. And I had to learn the meaning of two new words, notarize and apostille. Notarizes means made legally valid. So you get notaries. I think that's like a type of lawyer. And apostille means a legal document that's made internationally valid. So I've got all these this stack of documents tied up in ribbons, and I was told that with these I could go to the British consulate and get a emergency travel documents or some sort of travel papers for Adrian, and that I could leave the country in a few days. And this concerned me quite a lot because my immigration lawyer told me that wasn't true. And when I tried to call the local consulate, I was told there was 100% no chance of getting an emergency travel document. And when I tried the passport office online site, and I couldn't get past two things. I couldn't get past the mother's permission, requests, and I can get past the certificate of Agents British Nationality test. So that's quite disappointing. So one day, I even walked down to the British consulate, and it took me hours and hours because it didn't look as far as it was on my map, but it took me. I must have walked about 20 miles that day. So I haven't worked out how to use the taxis. I just don't like using taxis, and it didn't seem as far as it actually was. Anyway, eventually I did get to the British consulate, and I was hoping to talk to somebody in person, but the only person I talked to was somebody on security, and she seemed much more intelligent than the average security guard, but in the end she wasn't all that much more helpful. So I'm not 100% sure that the legal team are actually lying to me, because they have clients from all over Europe and maybe other parts of the world, and they can't be experts in every jurisdiction's legal system. And I have the additional problem that I'm not British by birth, I'm British by descent, so I have to apply for Agents British citizenship. So I'll tell you how that's going another time.